Remember, there are 3 scoring opportunities here. At least 1 star, at least 2 stars until you finish the third one, and then your match carries on your top bar. Let's get ready. On your series. Okay. All dancers are on 10. Please make sure all dancers are on 10 for the first one.
Right, and we're back here at WICO, the final workout of the day. It is called Mission Impossible, aka Acid Bath. It is a cardio workout. They're going to have a 500 meter ski erg, 500 meter row, 1000 meter on the bike erg. All dampers are on 10. Once they are done, they will take time. That is scoring opportunity 1. The remaining time will be on the assault bike. It is going to be a brutal one for the lungs as well as those tired legs. In our commentary studio, we have Jenna Smith. Tell us a little bit more about yourself. We see that you qualified for the L. How are you feeling about that?
I'm feeling super excited. Obviously super nervous that it's going to be my first individual comp. But I'm excited to see where I stack up against elite athletes. And I'm just excited and want to do the best I can.
Right. In terms of this workout, obviously we've got the 500 meter ski erg, 500 meter row, and then 1000 meter on the bike. That is scoring opportunity 1. Scoring opportunity 2, remaining time, you'll be on the assault bike trying to get max calories. So it is quite a burn of a workout. How would you approach this individually? Obviously you would have a team partner, but how would you approach it individually? Do you go balls to the walls, or do you rather pace yourself, make sure that you get through the workout, and then rather focus on the calories?
This workout sucks. Definitely pace it, nice consistent pace throughout, and then get through it and then focus on those max cars at the end for the second sprint.
100%. And then obviously, I don't know if you got to see those deadlifts earlier on. We got to, I think it was 370 for the ladies. Do you think if you were maybe there, you think you guys could have gone a bit heavier?
Absolutely. With my teammates,
100%. She obviously recently, if you haven't followed her on Instagram, make sure you do so. It's, what is it, 80? 80 to 60. And she got herself a clean and jerk of 90 kgs the other day. So congrats on that. How did that feel?
I didn't think I was going to get it, so really good.
So if you don't know as well, I'm usually the secret trainer. I'm always shouting at her in the background, like telling her you can do it. So was very proud that she got that up, as well as Ruan obviously training you from Rude. I'm assuming you're shouting for Gemma.
Yes, Gemma and Marinda, because obviously they train under Rue's umbrella as well. So hoping they can do really well this time.
100%. Thank you so much. That is Jenna Smith. Go follow her on Instagram. That is 80 to 60. Right, 10 seconds, and then we're going to kick off here.
4, 3, 2, 1,
and off we go. Heat number 1, lane 1, Earned Wisdom. Lane 2, Betty Boobs. Lane 3, Perfect Strangers. Lane 4, WICO Slayers. Lane 5, Aggressively Average. Lane 6, Peanut Butter and Jelly. Remember, they got 500 meters on that ski erg. So the ski erg, in my opinion, not too much of a worry. This is something that I would kind of bang out a little bit harder. You're not taxing too much of those legs. The legs are going to be a massive factor coming into that row and the bike. So I'd rather just get that upper body thing out of the way, get a decent little lead, and then just try hang on and get that scoring opportunity number 1 with enough in the tank to jump onto the calories with the bike. An assault bike, originally when this was first programmed, it was the Hurricane bike. So I think people feeling a lot more happy about it being the assault bike and not the Hurricane bike. And lots of smiles all around that it's the assault bike. Remember that assault bike, you can play around a little bit, you can push and pull nicely there. You can let the fans do the work a bit more for you. Whereas on the Hurricane bike, you kind of stop and that whole entire fan stops. So it's a lot harder on that Hurricane bike. So watch these athletes maybe put a little bit more effort now into that assault bike to send those calories. All right, we have a team moving on to the row now. That is WICO Slayers. That is lane number 4, as well as lane number 3, Perfect Strangers. Lane number 1 now moving into that third place spot. That is Earned Wisdom. You can see all of them battling it out there. So that's lane number 2, not lane number 1. It's back live here. Sorry, just had to quickly adjust the camera. Someone walked right into our cam. Awesome stuff. Not hard to miss, but anyways, they did. And needing some help there on that bike erg. Sometimes those bike ergs take long to start. You'll start your cycle and the screen will remain blank, and eventually it switches on. So sometimes you just got to push the buttons there just to make sure that it is running smoothly. Marissa there on the bike. Perfect Strangers, lane number 3, onto that 1,000 meters. Remember, all dampers are on 10 here, so not easy work, especially if you're not used to having your damper on 10. If you're wondering what a damper is the resistance at which you're cycling, rowing, or doing your ski erg on. Looking at these teams, remember there's 6 lanes now, not 4 lanes. You can see all the ladies working really, really hard on their row as well as their bike. Remember, each athlete has to complete their 500 before moving on. And time will only be taken once the last athlete has finished their 500. So you'll see athlete 1 will jump off the bike, and then the next athlete will jump onto their bike. So they can start their calories, but remember the time for scoring opportunity 1 will only be stopped once that second athlete jumps off the bike. So they're already working on the last bit, whether it's max calories now, obviously shared. You can see all these athletes. This is where they need to play now. So obviously they've used their legs a lot in the row as well as the bike. Now you want to use your arms a bit more on the assault bike. You want to try relax the legs, start pushing with those arms, work those arms. You don't want to have, you can see Bianca there, hands on the hip. You don't want to do that. You actually want to use your arms and start pumping those arms a bit more. Let the legs get the blood back into them, and then push again with the legs. Archer in lane number 1, earned wisdom. And then back to your two leaders here in lane number 4 and lane number 3. That's WICO Slayers and Perfect Strangers. We got everyone, pretty much the second athlete, all still on the bikes. I haven't seen anyone finish completely just yet. Four minutes remaining. Remember, it's only 12 minutes, and there you go, peanut butter and jelly. They have wrapped it up. It looks like they might have taken scoring opportunity 1. And now it's going to come down to the max calories. These athletes are now going to bang it out on that assault bike. They want as many calories as they can with the remaining time. 3 minutes, 25 seconds left. Earned wisdom out there on the far right of your screen. They finished up. Betty Boops finished it up. Perfect Strangers, WICO Slayers, Aggressively Average, and Peanut Butter Jelly all fighting it out now for that top spot in terms of calories in that scoring opportunity number 2. On your screen there, you have WICO Slayers and then Perfect Strangers right next to each other. You would assume that they are number 1. You can see Monica just jamming away. Like I said, she just doesn't stop moving. Little change out there, Betty Boops. And now as the glycogen levels start depleting, we start thinking about that mental side of things. This is that type of workout that you don't get that muscle fatigue where you can't go. It's more just a mental thing. Your body can still go. Your mind will give up before your body does. So you just got to keep telling yourself that you can get through this. Push hard, keep going. And that's what we're going to look for these athletes. It literally is going to come down to who wants it the most and who can sit in that pain cave and get through this acid bath, or also known as Mission Impossible. One minute and 15 seconds left on the clock. See the rental guys there. Nice little banner for them. Peanut butter and jelly. They've done really well in this workout. I think they were first off to have both athletes off the 1,000 meter bike. And you can see now that pace is starting to pick up on the assault bike. Athletes are now needing to jump on as quick as they can. You don't want that bike to slow down. WICO Slayers allowing that bike to slow down way too much. That changeover needs to happen a lot quicker if they're looking to win this one. Final 20 seconds. Steve there, yeah, big judge energy, that's for sure, 100%. And beautifully done. Time called there. And
you can round it off to the nearest decimal, and score, and then down the north, and the top, and then that's one.
so judges are allowed to round off those calories. Meaning if it's 35.5, they're allowed to round that up to 36, and if it's 35.4, it will be 35. And then also it's rolling calories as well, so there'll be a big push for the athletes as they're jumping off. They'll basically just push the assault bike a little bit, let the calories roll over, and once it stops, that will be the calorie amount for the athletes. Next up, we have Feisty Females, MHC. I think they are still your leaders at the moment, but not by far. They're not fast, just furious. Lane 2, the Golden Girls. Lane 4, Unapologetically Rude. Lane 5, Victoria's Secret. And then lane number 6, the Clean Team.
You can try to examine on your skier and your roller, but you cannot touch your bumper and say, okay, judges and athletes, are you ready? You're going to try to make up some fun here?
So one thing with the Masters, you'll always have little kids running around, and we've got a whole bunch of future CrossFitters here in the background, all on the air runners, on the assault bikes, some more on the rowers. Good to see them here, not in front of the TV or in front of a laptop or something, or an iPhone. And off we go. Heat number 2 underway here. Lane number 1, bright orange tops there, that's the Feisty Females. Lane number 2, not fast, just furious. Lane 3, the Golden Girls. Lane 4, Unapologetically Rude. They walked away with the biggest deadlift. And then lane number 5, Victoria's Secret. Lane 6, the Clean Team. Remember, both athletes need to complete a 500 ski, a 500 row, and a 1,000 meter bike before moving on to that assault bike for max calories. So 2 scoring opportunities. Some big efforts here on that ski erg. Keys to success here is keep that heart rate between zone 3 and zone 4. If you start touching that zone 5, you are going to be in big trouble come that assault bike later on in scoring opportunity 2. So if you're not too sure of your zones, you have zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, zone 4, and zone 5. Zone 5, basically you're redlining, and there's no coming back from that. If you hit that zone 5, it's going to take a long time for you to recover. Even zone 4, you're kind of playing a little bit there with that lactic acid and that glycogen depleting. So you kind of want to stay in that zone 3, high zone 3, maybe going into zone 4. And great technique here on the row with MHC ladies. Look how nice and high she's pulling. So especially when you're going for distance, you want to get a nice big stroke, slowly down, big stroke once again. And that helps that the meterage just tick over that little bit more efficiently. See all these athletes got a very similar technique there. So with the row as well, you can kind of play with the row. You can utilize your rhomboids, the muscles in between your back a little bit more, and those rear delts. Try to save those legs a bit more. Because next up, they're going to be jumping onto that bike erg. That bike erg is on a damper 10. It's a lot more difficult to get going on a damper 10 bike than if you could set it to like a 4 or 5. And if you've ever tried to sprint on damper 10, your legs will go into a world of hurt real quick. And so Gemma here on your screen, she's got a massive background in OCR, in adventure racing, mountain biking. So a lot of stuff there for Gemma Horn. She's also competed in equestrian, show jumping for provincial and South African teams, as well as playing ice hockey. Believe it or not, we do have ice hockey in this country. So Gemma Horn there on your screens. Been there, done that. 38 years old, training out of WICO. And that's with the Rude team. That's Ron Potgieter. CrossFit Durabo. Yana just having a jam there out of CrossFit Kempton. Right next to your current leaders, MHC. MHC looking to walk away with the win here today, and I think it's going to come down to this workout. They're going to need a decent placement, the top 3 possibly for scoring opportunity 1, and possibly a number 1 or a top 2 or 3 just to secure that number 1 spot at the moment. But according to Bianca, our official scoring judge here for the leaderboard, she did say that it is very, very close for the ladies in that number 1 and 2 spot. The clean team out here in lane number 6. MHC and Rude all well, not all, both of them jumping onto the max calories. So the final athletes onto that 1,000 meter bike. It's going to be interesting to see who scores that scoring opportunity 1. And 6 minutes left on that clock. You can see there Gemma utilizing, she's leaning a bit more forward, utilizing those shoulders to basically press onto the assault bike, saving the legs a little bit, and I think that's a great technique there, just for the later stages of this workout. I think that is lane 5. Yes, that's correct. That is Victoria's Secret. A little help there with the chair. The seat, should I say. Mirinda there on the bike for the route team. Next to the Golden Girls. And then not fast, just furious. And then MHC. Feisty females. See all these ladies now. They're going to start picking it up slowly but surely. As you see there, Team Rude, they have now gotten their second athletes onto the assault bike. I think MHC as well. It looks like, yeah, MHC are on their assault bike as well. And the Rude team, they're going to slowly but surely pick up the tempo. Remember, Gemma comes from an endurance background, so she'll have the tank for this. But we'll see if Mirinda So Mirinda as well, she's competed in 94.7 and has done the August cycle races before. So she'll also have a tank on her. So this could be in their favor at the moment to possibly walk away with that scoring opportunity 1, which I think they have, and then scoring opportunity 2, the max calories on the bike. Both of them have a nice endurance background in terms of the cycling, so we'll see what they can do. But MHC, remember your leaders, they've been looking strong throughout. CrossFit Durabo, taking it nice and easy at the moment. Shaking out those arms, looking around, see where everyone else is at. Changeover. Taking long to get onto that bike. Like I mentioned before, you want to try and get onto that bike while those arms are still moving, just to keep those calories ticking over. It comes down to those transitions. And that was a clean changeover. You saw their arms are still moving decently. Mirinda, so Gemma got off, Mirinda got right into her stride there, and that helps so much with those calories and saves a lot in terms of getting the bike started. That little bit more energy trying to get the bike started can cost you a couple of calories, 1 or 2 calories, which might be costly at the end of this workout. With 2 minutes left on the clock. And look at the work being put in there just next to the Rude team. That is Victoria's Secret. Possibly looking to catch up there. They might be a few calories behind. So they're going to look to put in some big sets here. That's Victoria's Secret. Just to try and get back into the mix. I think they are sitting 3rd overall at the moment. I could be mistaken on that, so don't take my word for it. We'll have to double check that leaderboard later on. But right now, it looks to be Team Rude on your screens at the moment that are currently leading. You can see Jenna Smith there shouting at her team. Those are her teammates trying to get them going. And another smooth changeover. Beautifully done. That's what I'm talking about. If your transitions are that smooth, those calories are just going to tick over that much easier. It's something that you should keep in the back of your mind whenever you're doing a team workout. Doesn't matter where you're at. You can see Gemma now putting in the hard work. 30 seconds left. And they're going to look for another quick changeover. Miranda jumps on, and that was a bit of a slower changeover. And she is not going to put the wheel pedal to the metal. She is struggling. And now she picks it up with 10 seconds left, but those muscles are aching. They're screaming at her, telling her to stop. And done and dusted here. That was brutal. Everyone collapsing to the floor there pretty much. And next up, we got heat number 3 in lane 1, the Robo Silverbacks. Lane number 2, Jurassic Squad. Lane number 3, MHC Masters of the Universe. Lane 4, MK Lycan. Lane 5, Not So Clean Cleans.
You have to stand on the plate, so you put the plate back on the gears. The plate must be on the gears. On it, on. So you make sure to put the plate back on the gears. Okay, must be on the gears. Now, sorry. But you have to stand on the plate. You have to stand on the plate. You have to stand on the plate. Sorry, Jake. Okay, last member is 500 meters speed for the deck, 500 for the road, 1K halfway, and carry full side. As we find your lane and your judges, you're lane 6 here, you start at lane 6. Lane 6. Lane 6. Okay, second last heat, first men's heat. Judges, are you ready? Athletes, are you ready? Okay. 10 seconds.
Right, our first men's heat here. About to get it underway. And off they go. Once again, we got a 500 meter ski, 500 meter row, 1,000 meters on the bike, and both athletes have to complete that before time is stopped for scoring opportunity 1. Remaining time, though, is max calories on that assault bike. We saw the ladies get through this pretty easily. Scoring opportunity 1 with plenty time. Well, when I say easily, they got through it with plenty time remaining. Will the men do the same? You look for athletes to, if they want a good calorie count, they want to look at skiing at about a 1,200 to about 1,400 calories. On the row, you want to look at about a 1,200 to 1,400. And then on the bike, I like to look at the wattage, but if you're looking at calories, a 1,100 to 1,300 on the bike at damper 10. It's quite brutal, hurts the legs, but that's what you want to look at if you're looking to get a decent score 1. And then on the actual assault bike, I'd say about a 450 watts to about 600 watts. You're looking at a decent placing in this workout, and you're looking at stints of it about anything from 30 seconds to a minute in the beginning if you have enough time on the assault bike, and then as it starts winding down, you drop down that to 30 seconds, 20 seconds, 10 seconds on the assault bike. Shorter stints on the assault bike, nice big pushes, drive up the wattage, drive up those calories, and look to get yourself a win here at the WICO Masters. Drop a like, subscribe, and hit the bell notifications. We are going to be at the battle in a couple of weeks' time. Battle Showcase Your Fitness. We're not doing a live stream. We are doing a post-production, but we'll make it like it is a live stream. There will be commentary. We will have a build-up show, and it will be quite a spectacle that is at the battle in a couple of weeks' time. And then we will be in the fittest in PE. That's going to be an exciting one later on in the year. That's October. And of course, we've got last man standing. The individuals competition. Still just waiting for confirmation where that venue is going to be. So we'll let you know once that has been finalized. So hit that bell notification and you'll get all that information when it drops. And in the comments, let us know who do you think is going to walk away with the win here in heat number 3. Currently MHC, the leaders here. In lane number 1 though, Earned Wisdom. They too have moved up. Lane 4, MK Larkin. They there. There's MK Larkin now on your screen. Quite a short stroke on the road. Honestly, on the road, I like to keep it nice and smooth. I prefer not to stop too much. I like to pull and then just slowly come down. Instead of that stop, you'll see a lot of the athletes will pull, stop, pull, stop. Looks like a bit of an injury there or something. Merv there, he pulled and I saw him. I think he's got a stitch. I say he's done very well here today. Oldest man on the competition floor. And that is by just scanning here. Looks like about 6 years. Got Brandon Jacobs from Not So Clean Cleans. He's got some embarrassing stories where he ripped his shorts while doing back squats. Hopefully the guy was wearing some undies. Steve Zachary getting rid of that shirt there, showing off his dad bod. MHC. MHC Masters of the Universe. There is Franco and Mark. They Alright, so it looks like there's only 3 points separating first, second, and third. So MHC, MK Lycan, and WOD Warriors. Those are your top three, and only 3 points separates these guys. Remember, WOD Warriors, they up in the next heat, but currently on the floor you have MK Lycan as well as MHC going head to head. Helps out a bit having those people next to you and knowing that you are just a couple of points out. So they're going to be looking to do some damage here to make sure that they get WOD Warriors out of the mix here. MK Lycan on your screen now, their final athlete. Keep looking around there just to make sure he'll get ahead, and there you have it. It looks like they might have taken scoring opportunity 1. Sorry, no, they came second in scoring opportunity 1. MHC was already off the bike, so they're on those max calories. Now it's going to come down to those calories. Do MK Lycan have it in them to surpass MHC? MHC, look at them, they are working really hard on your screens at the moment in those red shirts. If they go too hard early on, I mean, we're sitting at 340. They could tank and get caught. And this is also me speaking from experience. There was a competition that Jack and myself were in, and we were leading until we got onto those max calories on the bike erg, and we went out a bit too hard on that bike erg, and it actually cost us. We actually lost that overall heat and standing there by 1 or 2 calories that day, and that's just because we went way too hard. So got to be very, very careful about going into that red zone. The Robo Silverbacks there on your screen. They did exceptionally well, taking the win in the struggling there in the deadlift. And MHC, I think they got a third, which pushed them up into that number 1 spot. Trying to make up calories. This is where I would start getting a little bit of shorter stints on the bike. So start pushing maybe 20 seconds, get max calories, jump off. Try and get 20-second recovery while the other teammate's working. And just keep cycling like that rather than pushing big sets of 1 minute, 2 minutes, because that will cost you in terms of calories. This is the time now where you got to just dig deep, get into that pain cave, and push out those calories. Big effort there in lane number 5. Not so clean cleans. MK Lycan constantly changing their seating there, and it costs them a little bit on the calories in terms of that transition time. MHC digging deep, sucking in all that oxygen, being greedy. You've got to be greedy with the oxygen when you're on an assault bike. 1 minute left. Transition needs to happen quicker. They are slowing down, but I do understand. I've been in the situation. It hurts, but you just got to dig deep and go. MAC having a look at MK Larkin there. "30 seconds remaining." And the final stint here, I would believe, for MK Larkin, 20 seconds. He's just got to put his head down and dig as deep as he can as you watch MK Larkin and MHC battling it out. Who's going to walk away with that scoring opportunity number 2 here with 3 seconds left? And time. And what a brutal, brutal session there. And one more heat here at the WICO Masters.
Two, 5, 3, 4. No, that's what I said. There must be here. Josh. Josh. That's number 5 here. 5.
Are you ready, judges? Okay. Not ready. Wait and see. Sorry, it's not the case. Now you see the dancing? Sometimes I was going to dancing first. Okay. Next week, you ready? Judges, you ready? The last week, everyone. That's right. Okay, 10 seconds.
All right, we are back. Final heat of the day here at WICO Masters. And off they go. If you've just tuned in, 500 ski, 500 row, 1,000 bike, on the bike, damper 10. And then the final remaining time will be a calorie assault bike sprint, even though the guys aren't really sprinting that much. But as many calories as you can with the remaining time on that assault bike. Absolutely brutal. The original name for this workout is actually called Acid Bath. Here at WICO Masters, they're calling it Mission Impossible. But I don't think a name is better suited than Acid Bath for this particular workout. You're going to look for the smaller, lighter teams to maybe throw some spanners in the works. So they'll have more of a tank on them than those big, burly athletes. Remember, we have our WOD warriors from CrossFit Kyalami. They're going to have to put in a big effort. Remember, we had MHC and MK Lycan, and there's only 3 points amongst all three of the teams. So anyone can walk away, and it's going to come down to those scoring opportunities. Who's going to get that number one scoring opportunity and get that point? And then, of course, we've got those calories. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. But those WOD warriors, remember, they put in a massive effort in that first WOD, where they were off the assault bike every single time first. Does that mean they will have a tank in them for this later stage? And here we have it, some close-knit action. Lane number 6 there, that is Calorie Slayers. They're on that road. Then we have the Vita Bandits, lane number 5. Lane number 4, we have Humpty Dumpty. Lane number 3, keep an eye out on them, Cabanacci and Christmas Cake. Lane number 2, Power Bellies. And then lane number 1, WOD Warriors. They still have an opportunity to regain the lead, but just before WOD number 5, MHC had the lead over MK. And then WOD Warriors were in that 3rd spot, but only 3 points separating everyone. So how much do Alex and Dario want this one? Dario done. And it looks like your WOD Warriors are your new current leaders here. And then not too far behind them is lane number 6, Calorie Slayers. And here comes the rest of the field. Power Bellies, Cabanacci and Christmas Cake, Humpty Dumpty. Standing up on that bike, trying to just get that meterage going. So 1,000 meters, you're looking at about, if you do a really good time, you can sit about 140. But these athletes with those tired legs and just looking at that cadence, they're probably going to get off at about 2 minutes, maybe 2 minutes 10, 2 minutes 15, round about there. Remember, damper 10 is not easy. If you got a bike erg or you've got one at your gym, just jump on that, put it on damper 10, and hit 1,000 meters as fast as you can. Athletes, big thumbs up there, smile on his face. Good to see it. Glad he's still feeling the love. Wilson there from 360 Vida. Nice pull actually. Very good technique there. You can see he straightens those legs, finishes his pull. Once he's finished the pull, he drops his legs again. That's kind of what you want there on the rower. Ivo, also 360 Vida, sitting on the bike now. He looks fairly comfortable. A little bit too much shoulder movement. You want to try and keep that upper body a little bit more still, keep it controlled. You'll actually get a better turnover on both legs. You don't get that uneven turnover. And Humpty Dumpty and them on the calories already. As well as WOD Warriors and the Power Bellies. Now it's going to come down to that scoring opportunity one. Out of these teams all on the calories now, who's going to get off, that second athlete, who's going to get off that bike for scoring opportunity one? WOD Warriors desperately need it, but will they get it is the question. WOD Warriors are in lane number one. They from CrossFit Kyalami. On your screens you see the men battling it out there. That's the Power Bellies as well as WOD Warriors. WOD Warriors in the white, and then Power Bellies in the white, and then WOD Warriors in that dark blue and light blue. Yeah, you have CrossFit Kyalami now. Look at that sweat dripping off that man. He is putting in an effort today, and he is done and dusted. It looks like they will take scoring opportunity one. That is massive for the leaderboard. WOD Warriors, can they sneak into the lead? They are currently sitting in third place, and look at that, straight off the bike, changes over, jumps onto the bike, gives Alex a break, and Dario onto the assault bike. Big effort there by the big man. Great stuff. And Alex now jumps onto the bike. He's going to try to dig deep now. He's going to try to put in a bigger stint there just to give Dario some time. Remember, there's still 4 minutes on the clock. He can put in a minute, maybe even a minute and a half, and then give Dario some time. And then you start breaking it down. Then you go for 30 seconds. Then you go for 20 seconds. Those quicker little stints, those shifts on the bike. Jump off. Make sure that your transition is smooth and fast. Get those calories to start jumping up. And what he did there now, you got to be very careful of where you use the pedal to lift yourself off the bike, because that actually slows down the calorie count. You actually kind of want to jump off there with the pedals and the handles moving fast still, just so you can keep that rollover of the calories while that transition is happening. 3 minutes left on the clock. Humpty Dumpty's on your screen. They've been very impressive over the weekend. They had a great little deadlift in WOD 4. And there, just to the left, to the right, was Wilson from 360. He put in a big effort there. Caught Ivo off guard. Ivo was still drinking water, and now he's having to jump back onto the bike. You can see the calorie slayers. They've been grinding away slowly but surely. I wouldn't be too surprised if we see them in a top 3 in this particular WOD. Not overall, but in this particular WOD. They've been doing pretty well just in the corner of my eye every time I look over at them. And another big effort here. Wilson putting in the work on the assault bike, sending it. Feel like we need to put on some heavy metal music there and then give him a wig. Do some proper headbanging. And you can see there the big man there. I kind of like the strategy that they have here. You'll see that the smaller man, Ivo, is putting in a longer stint, more consistent. He just keeps the calories ticking over. And every so often, the big man, Wilson, jumps onto the bike, smashes out a quick 20, 30 seconds, gets those calories up, and then jumps off the bike. So, like that strategy, it's quite interesting. Might have to test that out just to see if that is a viable option. And it looks like they're going to change over here again. Yeah, there we go. Let's look. Will Wilson put in another big set here. And he does. He's smashing it again. With 40 seconds remaining, it's going to come down to the men in lane number 1. Will they be able to get the most calories and jump themselves into first place overall and beat MHC and MK Lycan? Big efforts, big efforts. Alex on the bike now with 20 seconds remaining. He's putting in the effort. Sending it. 10 seconds left. I don't think there's going to be enough time to change over. He's going to have to dig deep and fight to the end. And time. He sent that at the end, and it might have been enough. Right, don't go anywhere.